Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sports Dom coming back with another video, and this is my Orlando Guardians at Houston Roughnecks XFL Week 1 halftime report. It looked good for the Guardians on the first drive. They took it right down the field and scored a touchdown. Missed the conversion. 6-0 Guardians at that point. And then the Houston Roughnecks scored 21 unanswered. But on the Roughnecks' first drive, right after Orlando scored, the Guardians stopped them to 3 and out. And then on Orlando's second drive, they got stopped, and they haven't looked good ever since. Orlando has had 31 plays to Houston's 29 in the first half. Total yards, Orlando 172, Houston 230. Third down, Orlando is 3 of 8 on third down. Houston is 4 for 7. Passing, 11 of 14. Paxton Lynch is 11 of 14 for 122 yards and a touchdown. Passing TDs, Orlando 1, Houston 2. The yards aren't right on the game stats, but they have it on the player stats. They have Paxton Lynch 11 of 14 for 122, but on the passing for here it says 11 of 14 for 104. And Houston is 14 of 22 for 186 yards. Silvers has 2 touchdown passes. Paxton Lynch has 1. Rushing, 14 attempts for 68 yards. For Orlando, 6 attempts for 44 yards for Houston. 1 rushing TD for Houston. Time of possession, Orlando 17 minutes 7 seconds. Houston 13 minutes 27 seconds. First downs, Orlando 7. Houston 8. Rushing first downs, Houston 3. Orlando 3, Houston 1. And like I said, Paxton Lynch is 11 of 14 for 122 yards and a touchdown. Rushing, Jermaine Martin, 5 carries for 29 yards. Taylor, 5 carries for 28 yards. Thomas, 1 carry for 9 yards. And receiving, Carter has 1 reception for 1 yard. Guidry, 1 reception, 2 yards. Jamil, 1 reception, 25 yards. Cody Latimer has 4 receptions for 62 yards and a touchdown. Charleston Rambo has 1 reception for 3 yards, and Rogers has 3 receptions for 29 yards. The offensive line has to protect Paxton Lynch. He's been sacked like 5 times in this game already for loss. So the offensive line has to help Paxton Lynch out. Defense, Buchanan has 2 tackles, 1 assist. Coe has 2 tackles. Elam, 2 tackles. Hossein, 1 tackle. Jones, 1 tackle. Plummer, 1 assist. Scales, 3 tackles. Thompson, 1 assist. Washington, 1 assist. Wiggins has 2 tackles. Kick returns, Rogers has 2 receptions for 2 returns for 18 yards, and Tatum has 2 returns for 26 yards. So at halftime, the Orlando Guardians trail the Houston Roughnecks 21-6. They got to come out in the second half, and they got to take this game over. Brandon Silvers for Houston is 12 of 17 for 154 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Max Borghi for Houston has 3 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown. McDonald 1 carry for 5 yards, and Brandon Silvers 1 carry for 1 yard. Receiving, Max Borghi 2 receptions, 15 yards. Burnett 2 receptions, 51 yards. Bird 2 receptions, 20 yards. Harris 3 receptions, 44 yards. Burnett also has a touchdown, and Kirkland has 3 receptions, 24 yards, and a touchdown. defense for Houston, and I said in my preview that Houston, it was going to be a very, very good defense for Houston because of who their head coach is. Wade Phillips is a very good defensive coordinator. He's a great defensive minded coach, and he has his defense ready to play today. Beckett, 2 tackles. Daka, 2 tackles. Davis, 2 tackles. Ellerby, 3 tackles. Harris, 2 tackles. Harris, 1 tackle. Hendy, 2 tackles. Likely, 2 tackles. Mosley, 2 tackles. Rivers, 2 tackles. Ward, 3 tackles. Whelan, 1 tackle. Punting, Porter has 1 punt for 24 yards. And for Orlando, the punting, Townsend has 2 punts for 83 yards. So, they got to get this fixed. Terrell Buckley has to make, a halftime adjustment. The Orlando Guardians have to come out in the second half and stop them. Stop the Houston Roughnecks before this gets out of hand. It's already out of hand, but they can come back as long as they are able to stop Houston. They got to make a halftime adjustment. Come out because Orlando got the ball to start the first half. Houston will get the ball to start the second half. Orlando needs to stop them on the first drive of the second half. Orlando needs to get the stop. They must get the stop, because if Houston goes up 27 or 28-6, Orlando may not recover. They may not. Orlando can still win this. They just got to get into a rhythm, but they got to come out in the second half and make a stop. The defense has to make a stop. They started out good, but it was one possession that they looked good, and then something happened, and Houston, took the game over. At the end of the first quarter, it was 6-6, tied, and then in the second quarter, it was all Houston, but it's not over yet. Orlando can still come back. They can score 12 points, and it's 21-18 at that point. They can score, 19 points, and it's they can score 15 points to make it 21-21. That's 2 touchdowns and 2 1-point conversions, or a 1-point conversion and a 2-point conversion. But like I said, Orlando has to come out in the second half and just stop Houston. Otherwise, this thing may get ugly and get really out of hand. And Paxton Lynch, if he doesn't do something on the first drive that they have the ball, they need to pull him and put Dormandy in, because he can't continue to play like this. But guys, comment in the comment section below on what you think of the XFL so far. And as always, if you like my videos, like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss a video. Stay tuned for my Orlando Guardians at Houston Roughnecks post-game report. Go Guardians, make a halftime adjustment, and come out in the second half, and let's pound the ball down their throat, and let's steal this game. Let's take over the second half, and let's get a road win and get ready to play the San Antonio Brahmas next Sunday at 3 p.m. Central in Orlando. Go Guardians. Let's win this game. Let's start 1-0, and let's get ready to take on the San Antonio Brahmas.